So the first stage of Philippe Clement's mission to rescue Rangers has been a success. Since the new gaffer's been in charge, we've managed to witness a quite substantial turnaround on things on and off the pitch. The connection between the fans and the players seems to again be at an all-time high. The way the players are executing on the park is better now than it ever has been under Michael Beale. The players seem to be enjoying playing under Clement, seem to be enjoying this offensive style that he demands of them. And for me, as a supporter, the games are just infinitely more enjoyable under Clement. Like we touched on in the previous videos, there seems to be a much greater urgency for Rangers to get the ball forward, not to just keep possession for possession's sake, to try and create chances, put other teams on the back foot and ultimately dismantle them. And today at Livingston, that is exactly how you need to approach the game. To go to Livingston's park and play in this artificial surface is never an easy thing. It's sticky, the ball holds up, it takes a bit for the players to get used to. But the way we started the game and continued to play throughout, I was never really worried that Livingston were going to pose us any sort of threat or concern. Honestly, by the 45-minute mark, Rangers could have been up 4 or 5 with a few goals chalked off or a few missed chances. It could have been a whole other story at half time. But let's now talk about the first goal. And it all comes from Tom Lawrence's through ball to Cyril Dessers, who for once actually appeared to move at a reasonable speed and lose his man. But Rangers have been missing this. They've been missing the players who are willing to get the ball and play that clinical through pass to then get the striker on one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And look, Dessers does his job. He makes the run, he gets there, gets a wee bit of luck, but hey, sometimes that's what you need when you're not performing at your best. But I think certainly I did notice that we're not the same team with Dessers up front than we are with Danilo, but that's another good thing that Clement has came in and what has he seen that Michael Beale hasn't seen in Danilo? Because we noticed over the last few games that Clement has clearly been favouring Danilo. Meanwhile, me and Andy were repeatedly saying in the podcast or in the videos that we've brought this guy in for, what was it, 4 or 6 million or something like that in Danilo, and yet Michael Beale was constantly opting to play Dessers over Danilo. And then when he did get his chance, obviously he gets his skull caved in and ends up injured. But for me, Danilo is the man. That role is now his. And I completely agree with Clement in putting in Dessers the day and putting in Lawrence and young Mccausland. These are great tactical decisions. First of all, because we're just off the back of a very tough European game and you're going to play in this artificial surface that is known to be much easier to have injuries occur on. So I think it makes complete sense to go for the players who are 100% fresh and 100% fit and who didn't go through a hard-fought battle against Sparta Prague midweek. But let me just pose this question to you. Would that have been the same under Michael Beale? Would he have started young Mccausland today, who played so well and who's looked ever so good whenever he has got the opportunity, off the bench? But today, to start and maintain a high level of performance throughout the game was just great to see. A young player being brought through the academy, actually given his chance, and then only to be denied by what's a complete utter howler, honestly, for VAR. I mean, that goal should stand every day of the week, but this is the sort of ruinous situation that these VAR decisions are bringing to modern football. For me, there's no clear and obvious error there, and Mccausland gets denied his first goal and his first Rangers start. But all things considered, I'm pretty sure Ross Mccausland will be incredibly happy with how he's performing given the chance, and he should be very, very satisfied with how he performed today, because for me, he's another one of these players who we've been lacking for a while, who has got a bit of flair, who's got a bit of confidence, who's got that killer instinct on the final ball. We've seen it during the week against Sparta when he come on off the bench. That ball, we're so used to going down the channels, going wide, but sometimes that's not on, and you need somebody who can play the ball infield with precision, pinpoint accuracy. And look, Lawrence appears to be able to do that, but so does young Mccausland. So happier than ever to see him get his debut the day and play so well. Also, to touch on that controversial first penalty decision. I mean, does he go down easily? Is it a dive? Is it this? Is it that? First of all, let me just say, Mccausland beats the keeper to the ball. The keeper has slid out and he's going to come through Mccausland. He's got one of two options here, Mccausland. Either gets clattered by the keeper and tries to stay up, in which case the penalty won't be given because he stayed up. But if he just rides the keeper's challenge like he did, hits the deck, then a penalty will be given. So really for Mccausland, it's a no-brainer. Of course, he sees the keeper coming in, he's going to judge it, he's going to go down as the keeper slides through him. Penalty for me every day of the week. So all in all, a great debut for Ross Mccausland, and look, fair play to Philippe Clement. I mean, this is no friendly, this is no early stage of a cup, this is a key game that Rangers need to win in order to stay in the title race. And he told us when he came in the door, he said, look, this is how I'm going to play. He said, look, if you're good enough, you're old enough. And he stuck to his word. And look, it's paying off. Because I think a lot of our young talent have been denied in years gone by. They've never got their chance. A manager's never took a gamble on them and stuck them in because they've always been too young or too small or too this or too that. That boy's in there grafting every day with the first team squad. If he's good enough, then he's old enough. Give him a chance. We need to develop our youth. It's critical, and I'm glad and hopeful that Philippe Clement is going to be that way inclined. He's not going to be scared if he gives a young boy a chance and he crumbles under the pressure. No, he seems to be willing to take a chance here with Mccausland, put him in at the deep end and see if he sinks or he swims. And Mccausland, he's done more than swim. He's been very, very impressive. But can you believe it? For the last international break, where we'd just been beat 3-1 at Ibrox by an Aberdeen team who get absolutely destroyed today, to where we are now. There was a lot of questions when Clement came in the door. We were uncertain. We didn't really know too much about him. And he came in talking about how he was going to change the style, how he was going to change this, how he wasn't happy that the players weren't fit enough, they weren't using cryotherapy chambers, they were not being the ultimate professionals, and a lot of things had to change. But I still am finding it hard to grasp quite how radically things have changed since the last international break, where we were all calling for Michael Beale's head, but we were also very, very strongly ridiculing these players who now look like a completely different set of players. It's remarkable what a good, experienced manager can do. First of all, from a tactical standpoint, but also from the point of mentality, and drilling in this idea that we're going to rock up to Livingston today, or rock up to wherever it is. We're going to invite Sparta to Ibrox, and we're going to puff out our chest and play and perform the way that we know we can. So like I said at the start of the video, phase 1 of Clement's rescue mission has been a complete success. We're undefeated, we've reached the League Cup final, we've managed to beat Sparta Prague in what was a clinical European tie, and we're ever so close to once again making it to the knockout stages in the UEFA Europa League. So all things considered, from the last international break until now, I can't quite believe it's changed so drastically. And aye, the style's different, the mentality's different, and it's so evident to see, because you can sit down now and enjoy a Rangers game. You don't sit down and think, how often are we going to play it from left back to right back the day? How many times are we going to pass the ball backwards? How long is it going to take us to do a throw-in. Nah, you rock up and you think, first of all, we're going to approach it with an offensive attitude, take it to the opposition, try and score as many goals as possible, and work our socks off for every individual on that pitch with us. And that's what we as fans were crying out for. That's what we demanded for this team. And Clement's come in the door, he's asked that question of them, and fair play to the players who were under immense pressure, because they've delivered massively. Now, by all means, we're not even halfway through the season yet, but if things continue in this trajectory, I'm pretty sure it will only get better. I mean, bear in mind, Clement's more or less just in the door, doesn't have one of his own signings, is playing with a cohort of players who only a month or just over a month ago were probably at the lowest point of their career. They looked disjointed, they looked lacking confidence, they weren't even enjoyable to watch in the slightest. But now we can see they're working for each other, they're fighting for each other. They seem to have injected a wee bit more joy and energy back into the football, and it's paid off big time. Now, I know I've not covered too much about today's game, but I think because we're coming into the next international break, it was really just intriguing to reflect on where we've came from, for basically me and Andy making nothing but negative and depressing videos for the start of the season until that Aberdeen game where Michael Beale was shown the exit door, until now where we're actually enjoying watching Rangers again, where we actually have got some hope that, you know, we could redeem ourselves. The title race could still be on, we could win a cup, we could get to the knockouts of the Europa League once again. So I just want to say congratulations so far to Clement and to the players who have risen to the challenge, who've started to correct the wrongs that were done under Michael Beale, and who've started to truly turn things around. So long may it continue. Let me know your thoughts about today's game, about how far we've came under Clement in such a short period of time, in the comments below. Don't forget also to subscribe, and if you fancy it, you can support the channel by becoming a BlueSea member. So it's $3.99, it supports the channel, helps us to build a wee bit of money, to get some extra cameras, to get some extra software, to continue to make this channel grow, so that we can continue to provide the content for you, to support our team, and to watch this team grow and flourish together. But is it just me, or what's the crack with all these international breaks? I mean, it seems to be perpetually an international break, just when you're getting back into the swing of watching and enjoying your club playing. Here comes another one. But until next time, I'll see you then.